A while ago, I wrote a blog post that asked the question, what did you want to be when you were growing up? And in that post, I said that I wanted to be an architect when I was growing up. But due to my absolutely useless grasp of mathematics, it wasn't to be. But as you know from watching some of my other videos, and maybe you've read some of my blog posts, I now combine my love of photography with architecture, engineering, and just big structures in general. Which is one of the reasons I took this last-minute trip to Barcelona. Now, Barcelona is renowned for its architecture, both contemporary and classical. So in this video, I'm going to take you to a couple of buildings around Barcelona to show you how I approach architectural photography. Now, the first building I want to take you to is this behind me, and it's called the German Pavilion, and it was by the architect Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Now, originally built in 1929 for the International Exposition, the building you see now is actually a replica, and it was rebuilt from historical drawings and the original footings that they found. Now, the first thing to grab you about this building is the design. A pioneer of the modernist design, van der Rohe created this building to be the exhibit, rather than to be a building to place exhibits within. So the building's position within the exposition was designed so that the public, the visitors, could not avoid going through the German Pavilion. And by using walls and structures within the building, there was nowhere they could just go through from A to B. They had to go around and explore the exhibit itself. Now, as a photographer, this building has so many points of interest, from the cantilevered roof, to the water features, to the exotic materials used within the construction. We're talking marble, onyx, the tinted glass that was probably quite a rare commodity when this was built, and of course the cruciform columns that hold up that floating ceiling. And let's be honest, at almost 100 years old, this design wouldn't look out of place as a modern, minimalist, open-planned house today. Indeed, the furniture that was created for the exposition, the Barcelona chair and the Barcelona ottoman, are still in production today. They are truly timeless. So I think it's time to take some photos. Now, as this is an open tourist attraction, timing is key for getting these images. So I got here at sort of 7:45 in the morning. But even then, best laid plans and all that, I'd got my tripod set up for a nice wide-angle first-off shot. And then this big van has turned up to take away some furniture and things that's obviously been from a function over the weekend. So, timing and patience. But my plan would be, if I was coming to do this, which I am, early in the morning, you're going to get less footfall going around the building as we're trying to take photos. And then the building, the interior doesn't actually open to the public till 10 o'clock. So I'll come back then to actually go inside and get some shots inside of the furniture, the wall designs, the minimalist wall designs, etc. For one of the first hero shots, I'm going to include the pool that's out the front of the building. And by keeping that in the lower of the frame, that's going to draw the eye through the frame into the picture to the building itself. Now, for the internal shots, the building doesn't open to the public till 10 o'clock, so I shall come back then when it opens and try and get in early so there's not too many people around. Now, as this is a public tourist attraction, tripods probably will not be welcome in there, so you might need to bump up the ISO a little bit, make sure you've got some stabilisation on your camera. Now, the golden rule of architectural photography, the immutable law, are straight verticals. And as you can see from the design of this building, verticals are everything. Verticals and horizontals everywhere. Now, I don't have a tilt-shift lens to help me with this, so what I use is the 3D leveling system on the back of my Fujifilm. That just helps me minimise the need to rely on perspective control in software later on. So you can see from some of these shots, even with the exterior shots, I like to get a selection of wide and detailed shots, and that helps you get a feeling for the textures within the building. It's vital to show how important the glass panels within the building are. And when you're taking photos of glass panels, it's quite difficult to actually make sure you don't show up as a reflection in the image. So I will also use a polarizing filter to try and cut down on those reflections as well. But the simple rule is pay attention to what's reflecting where, especially when you don't know where the sun's coming through and it may be hitting a bright piece of clothing or something and reflecting in that glass image. Now, details like the onyx wall and the Barcelona furniture that I told about earlier are vital to be included in those interior shots. And I'll mix a combination of tight detail shots with wider minimalist compositions. Now, I've been wanting to photograph the German Pavilion for so long, and it's ridiculous because, like in the video I'll link up here, Barcelona for me is a 2-hour cheap flight away. And you don't really need long to come and photograph a building. You know where it is, and you know the access. It's just a case of coming and getting it done. So to now, I've had the opportunity. It is everything I was hoping for. The design is amazing. It is timeless. I love it. So I hope you enjoy these photos. I've enjoyed taking them, although a little bit of patience has been needed when things haven't quite gone to plan, but it doesn't matter. That's what we're here for. We're here to get the images as and when we can. We have to work around these outside influences, especially when we're not on a commission to come and do it. It's not just us, and the building isn't there just for us. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Join me in the next video, and we're going to go to a completely different design. But the bizarre thing is, they're only 21 years apart.